It was Christmas, December 25th, 2012, at about 11 in the morning. We had just opened presents, and I turned to my husband, David, and I said, I can't breathe. You see, just 11 days before, on December 14th, 2012, our son, Ben, was murdered in his first grade classroom at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The tragedy of losing a child can never truly be understood by those who have not experienced it themselves. The anguish and heartache are unfathomable. No mother expects to outlive her own children, and yet when this unthinkable event occurs, we are left with the questions. Why did it have to be them? What could I have done to prevent this, and why couldn't it have been me? Do We Know How to Grieve? By Francine Lois Wheeler. So that Christmas morning, I really couldn't do anything. But David did convince me to go lay down. And as I was just about to fall asleep, I looked to the side of the bed and there was Ben. He didn't say anything. He just walked over, opened the palm of my hand, and he kissed it. After that, I was begging him to come back again. And a couple of weeks later, he did. In this dream, a door opened, and there he was. We hugged, and I said, "I love you." And he said, "I love you too, Mama." And it was real. And then he said, "Mama, don't let them trademark you." Now, when Ben was alive, he wanted to be smart. He would often use these big words that didn't always make sense. So I asked him, "Are you sure you mean trademark, buddy?" And he said it again. "Don't let them trademark you, Mama." And then I woke up. I struggled with this dream for months. That and the last few moments I had with him, I read it over and over again in my head. It was a normal morning. I was getting Nate and Ben ready for school when I remembered that Nate had book club. So I said, "I forgot, we've got to go. We'll drop off Nate first. We have to move." And as we were rushing to get out the door on time, Benny comes waddling up to me and says, "Mama, what does forgiveness mean?" And I'm like, I don't know, Ben. It's like when you do something wrong and the other person forgets about it. Now, come on, we have to go. After we drop off Nate, Ben and I head to Starbucks for a treat. He loved Starbucks. When we sat down, Ben sipped his chocolate milk and said, "Mom, I love you." Out of nowhere. So I said, "I love you too, Ben." And then a couple minutes later, I took him to school. And half an hour after that, he was dead. I kept reliving that conversation over and over. I mean, was it really that special? Did we really say, "I love you" to each other? I kept asking him in my dreams if we really had that conversation. And what did he mean about being trademarked? Right after the shooting, Newton just explodes. There are grief counselors and trauma specialists flying in from all over the country, trying to help us make sense of it. all of this is going on, I can't escape it. I go for a walk and I see women. They're talking and they look at me and they stop talking. Or I go to the grocery store and a woman, she looks at me and she starts to cry. I just want it to be normal. For people to look at me like I'm a person and not a victim. Not a victim. That was the trademark that Ben came to warn me about. You see, any time Sandy Hook is mentioned, people will make assumptions about us, about Ben, and project onto us what they think about Sandy Hook. But then, one day, this woman came up to me, and she said, I don't know if you know me, but I just happened to be at Starbucks on the morning of December 14th, and I heard what a beautiful conversation you were having with your son. I just thought you'd want to know. I said, thank you. And I began to weep. I've had almost 9 years without Ben now. And in that time, I've often imagined what life would be like if he had survived. No more stares, no more awkward conversations about how I'm doing. And I get it, because we don't know how to grieve. And I'm not mad at those people anymore. I forgive them. My husband, David, and I, we do not have the luxury of not being trademarked by the Sandy Hook shooting because our son, Ben, died that day. But nobody can trademark my kissing hand, my beautiful conversation that morning, or the 6 years, 3 months, and 2 days that our beautiful son, Ben, lived